Ladies and Germans, how are you all doing? This is Con Over, coming to you with a live cast over here for Company of Heroes 2 match 1v1. This is going to be Faymonville Approach. In the north, playing as the Wehrmacht, this is going to be the blue-trunked forces of Ace. He is bringing on in mobile defense, mechanized assault, and elite troops doctrine. His opponent down here to the southeast, ROL, playing the USF. He's bringing on an infantry company, heavy cav company, and rifle company. So, might be seeing that Pershing, might be seeing that Priest. I'm not sure if we're going to see necessarily easy 8s. Though it would be definitely an interesting idea. Now, Ace is opening up with a machine gun. ROL in his own time is going to come out with a couple of rifleman squads instead, of course. And it looks like very early on, well, he's setting a couple of, barbed wire in front of that middle house. While this game really starts to get going here, I am going to say, I said this on the Submission Saturday video, but I'll repeat it here. I'm in the middle of a little bit of a professional transition here. Suffice to say, I'm going to be spending some time here putting a lot of material. Whether that's going to be on here or on the Twitch channel, I'd love to have you guys keep me company. And, we'll talk about it more as time moves forward. ROL going to go for that heavy cav company, so he's looking to get that rifleman putting down all that garbage. And indeed, sandbags already going on down, of course. And looking for that late game Pershing. Now, MG42 is going to go and have these rear echelons hit the dirt, and Ace coming out with a sniper. Kind of a strange decision there, perhaps, because it has to be microed so intensively and against a lot of these riflemen, as well as this very, very aggressive wire. Not sure, really, if that's the best option here. But both players are major generals. Both players are top tier. I can't give you an exact ranking, per se. But a beautiful one offhanded shot there from this sniper, taking out one model already. And he'll be able to start headshotting like crazy. It's not going to be too much of an issue there, I don't think. Rifle in the meantime, just plopping down more and more. And the map itself begins to turn red. Germans do finally get their own fuel point and throw down their own wire against their own sandbags, but it looks like the northeast, really, of this entire map is fairly, well, it's going to be pretty much taken up, I think, by the Americans. And I'll follow this sniper for a little bit of time. ROL does have a trip rifleman opening. Ace finally bringing in some grenadiers and using them to kind of keep the riflemen at bay, at least for the time being, until they can force back into one of these squads of riflemen. Not going to be the easiest, and indeed, both guys do retreat. Riflemen to their side and grenadiers to theirs. Ace realizing he needs a little bit more tier 1 presence, and ROL going for the US meta. Kind of annoying to me that it's still been, it's like 6 or 7 months, and it's still the US meta. Pioneer's going to flank around the side of these riflemen as the MG42 keeps them entertained in the front. And MP40's going to do a decent amount of work here. They do manage to go and cut down a Pioneer.
Is under attack.
But it's kind of going back and forth. Okay, finally the Pioneers do finally fall back. I'm kind of depressed to think of the fact that this MG42 has not forced any sort of suppression on them. But that green cover is green cover for a reason, doing some excellent, excellent work there. And Germans very quickly taking out the battle phase 1. There we go. At long last, they managed to go and get them suppressed. Not pinned just yet, but suppressed is a good start. Germans, in the meantime, have they taken out that wire? No, wire's still there, but they can't pick up the middle VP from the Americans. It's going to be a 1-0 and then a 2-0 in favor of the good old Deutschlanders. Its mortar team's going to try to go and push back the MG, and not knowing that the quarry has already left the battle space. Sniper, in the meantime, is kind of hanging on out here, doing some, he's got some headshots already. Not anything too incredible, but he's going to get into the fight right about now. So 5 shots before 4 minutes. Grenadiers find out they can't get inside this house, which is a bit of a problem. And the sniper kind of gets caught out. He's going to probably want to have to retreat here pretty quickly. No. Instead, it's going to be, it looks like riflemen inside the God House in the middle part of the map. 2-0 cap, though, and while the Germans are going to lose their VP here in the center part of the map, in the north, the rear echelons will find themselves pushed back by these Grenadiers soon enough. Pioneers, in the meantime, do have themselves a flamethrower, and while they're going to take some devastating hits coming across that road, not that they're across the road, well, it's going to be the riflemen who suffer. And get pushed back some rather devastating, well, some HP damage, for us to be sure, anyway. Sniper, in the meantime, continues to come under fire. 7 kills, though. Doing a good job putting rounds, that looks like, into this garrison. And that mortar is in a great position right now. But Flammenwerfer 35 is able to do some cooking. As Riflemen might want to back up further because these guys are getting close. They might be able to take out another model or two, and that's going to be a big loss. Actually, ROL is dropping incredible amounts of troops already. Pulling in a 4th squad of Riflemen because he is just hit that hard. Rear echelons barely clinging to a little bit of life. And we are going to see a ambo coming on out. Probably a good call there. Grenadiers engaging against these Riflemen. Going to be a very, very good easy beat, I would say, for the Riflemen against those Grenadiers. But that's pretty much all that exists on the map for the Americans here. Kind of funny to me. Sniper, in the meantime, picking up. He's at 11 kills already. Grenadiers getting pushed on back, as I expected, down to 1 model. But that Battle Phase 1 has come on through. The Germans could go fall back and create for themselves a leichte mechanized company, and I think that's going to happen fairly quickly here. As the Americans come up to the north and take this munitions point yonder. Mortar team, in the meantime, hanging on out, not able to see a whole lot. Another MG42 being called on in, and this MG42 team to the south, well, taking this munitions point is going to help him out a whole lot if he needs to call in all of those LMGs, and frankly, he can do that pretty quickly. Americans, in the meantime, suffering badly, lagging behind, and indeed, I don't know why he's not calling in some sort of officer right about now. But oh well. Sniper, in the meantime, coming to the north. He's got 1-star veterancy already, which means he has that incendiary explosive round. And that lifetime mechanized company has come on out. Sniper is falling back for half a second or two, at least until more riflemen come on from the southern flank, rather. And the MG42 gets cancelled. Though the Americans are beginning to push up here in the center part of the map, not the easiest time, I would say, for the U.S. They're down only a few tickets right now. But yeah, maybe once they get to the Rangers, they can come back a little bit. As of right now, I don't like how it looks. 222 is coming on out, and Riflemen, only 1 squad of them is able to call in rifle grenades, although they do have a good chunk going to be available for their use. Sniper's awfully close to the front battle lines here, and indeed they're trying to pick him on off. But he just bravely holds his ground. Grenadiers are actually engaging other riflemen as they retreat. And that Sniper's getting approached from multiple directions here. I'm actually surprised that Rifleman was a selection. Indeed, it's gone pretty well. Grenadiers actually getting outflanked and getting a lot of pressure coming out after them. But now Pioneers in here, well, I don't think these Riflemen have grenades yet. No, they do not. So there's no pineapple for the Americans. And this 222 really can pressure them for quite a bit of time here. Only 2 squads have any kind of anti-tank opportunities. Although this is one of them right here, and there's more than enough munitions to do it. Taking their LMG? No, they're not. I'm a little surprised on that one. Mortar team getting in placed, and they really should back up pretty quickly here. It's not going to happen soon enough, though. Instead, the 222 is going to come in behind these Riflemen. They're going to do a good amount of damage, I would think. Although these Grenadiers are not going to be particularly happy either on this one. Rifle grenade? No rifle grenade? Opportunity right now. There goes one Rifleman squad. Rifle grenade comes out the other direction. Damages that 222. But first blood does go to the Germans, as now a second Pioneer squad's been called on in. I don't know if that's supposed to be there as a repair individual or what the deal might be. But ROL is just throwing up a ton of those bazookas. The M9's not really sure why he's going so crazy on those. He's got Zooks all over the field, though. Good gosh. Which means it's going to be a field day for this Sniper. 17 kills and counting. No one can even see him. Lieutenant is on the field. That's going to do a good amount of work if they can actually engage here. But it doesn't look like they're too concerned about actually doing that. Meantime, Grenadiers can throw out a rifle grenade whenever they want to, and I think really should be doing it. Teller Mine's going on out to the northern side here, and there's that rifle grenade that I was talking about. 222 behind, engaging and carving into this lieutenant. Might be able to take him out? No. No, not quite. And now the Germans see all of those Zooks and decide to back away. That's a good call right there. 222 is going to catch these guys in the flank, which is kind of funny. But 10 minutes in, we don't really have a cohesive American coming on out here. Still, no captain. No, well, there's a lieutenant, and frankly, going straight to the major might be a good idea. Start calling in 1 or 2 Shermans. Of course, his fuel income is pretty garbage, and the Germans, by comparison, well, it looks like they might even be able to pick up the American one. Like, then again, as I say that, they were going to get aggressed on by 2 rifleman squads. Now, Germans, in the meantime, they have Battle Phase 2 up. They can go to Battle Phase 3 if they want to, or in place that, oh my gosh, what's it called? Support Armored Corps. I think that might actually be a better option here. But for the moment, it doesn't look like he's too concerned about either one of those, and he's successfully engaging against rifle squads with Pioneers. LMGs get called on in all over. Was he a grenade? Nope, no grenade whatsoever. Rifle grenade going on and out. Might be able to take out that mortar. Nope, never mind. Instead, there goes a 222. This lieutenant grabs a sneaky bazooka and takes him on out. But even with that happening, the Germans are still oodles and oodles of resources ahead. And this continued to carve into the American supply position whenever they're not paying attention. Flak track is going to come on out. That's a brutal, brutal amount of firepower there. But the PaK-40 out there as well will keep them pretty much at bay. Now, northern side, Grenadiers going to engage against these riflemen, and with the LMG, while the riflemen have their, well, bazooka, I'm surprised that it's going as well as it is for this rifleman, because you would think the firepower advantage would go in favor of the Germans. But no, that is not to be the case. Sniper, in the meantime, middle part of the field, 23 kills. He just continues to be a massive, massive issue. And this is support armored corps coming on through. Germans do have a trip cap, at least for a few more seconds here. Teller mines in place. To the south, there still exists to the northern side as well, I believe. Yep, right here. You know, and that's a bit of a problem, but it's not too much of a killer. Sniper, 23 kills. He's picked off one of those mortar's crewmen, and everyone and their mother is just trying desperately to get after them. Not going to happen, though. And the Germans are managed to take, actually, use of the American defensive position. Of course, when that gets blown to pieces, well, then now the Germans really have to be concerned. Of course, this lieutenant getting caught on out. Oh, never mind. That AA half-track coming on in there. The dual 50 cals, I want to say, as well as that 37mm cannon. That's incredible. That's incredibly deadly. Of course, that PaK-40 is incredibly deadly too, and 1 or 2 more shots might be enough. 1 shot is all it takes. So the AA half-track comes out, the AA half-track goes down. And the sniper says, ooh, look, a 2-man squad. Oh, it doesn't quite get it. Doesn't even get that incendiary round off either, and that's lucky right there for the Americans. Still a 2-0 in favor of the Americans, excuse me, in favor of the Germans, and their lead increases to over about 100 tickets here. Rear echelons to the north trying to seize a munitions point for all the good that'll do them. Meanwhile, Pioneers, 2 stars of veterancy, come under a lot more of attention from Lieutenant and these riflemen. Of course, the second these guys come up, they're going to get flame-baked super quickly. And never mind. There's just too many models there, and intelligently, those Pioneers decide to flee. But LMG is doing a fair bit of work against these riflemen, and speaking of veterancy, looking so far, the Germans are still quite ahead. Now, rifle grenade could be kind of interesting, throw it down as the approaching materials come on in, but it does not look like that's happened. Instead, the sniper has gone and used that bit of firepower literally in this case. This stuns up, doesn't it? Yep, stuns. Pioneers coming in and around, and these LMGs coming from the opposite direction. So these riflemen are going to be compelled to leave, as will this lieutenant pretty quickly. There's now a P4 on the field, and while there's a bunch of Zooks, that's still a P4, man. And that's a pretty good P4 at that. Germans continue to hold a 2-to-1 advantage. Mortar team's going to get pushed on back by this Panzer II. And luckily for them, never mind, 1 model, and there we go. So he should just destroy this mortar, and that would be that. It looks like he's going to do it. No, he's not. Oh, no, he is. Okay, good. He's going to go and kill the mortar. Good call. In the meantime, now the riflemen come back out with their own recoilless rifles to be engaging that poor P4. And it looks like there's a couple of BARs out in the field as well. So we're starting to see BARs mixed in with the Zooks, and that's a better decision there. But the Germans continue to be up, actually an entire command point, 1.25 command points up against their opponent here. I think ROL is just desperately trying to hang on out until he can get to this Pershing. And it's possible. He's not going to have a lot of tickets left, but it's possible. My only concern is what he's going to have left by the time he gets there. He's lost now his mortar. He's lost now a squad of riflemen. And now there's an MG42 in the middle part of this map. So watch everything get suppressed here. Shockingly, it's not engaging anybody. Wow, they've taken devastating losses already. So they're going to get in around to do some good damage, I would think, against this MG. But 2 squads are already falling back. Rear echelons are completely and totally pressured like crazy. Time to run, boys. There we go. So he gets a better retreat path there. Well done. And Grenadiers are going to just continue to engage. Super close and personal, and it's actually going to get carved to pieces here. Sniper also gets taken on out. So that's a shame right there. That's a big loss actually for Ace. But an Ostwind, yay! Not often I get to see an Ostwind anymore. But I think that's actually a pretty good call. Germans continue to be up an incredible amount of pressure though. They've had at least a 1-0 cap or a 2-1 cap. Let's say 1 point advantage cap here. And now they have both fuels. They're gonna get forced back for right now, but as soon as that Ostwind comes in, yeah. The Americans don't have anywhere near the amount of firepower they need to control it.
A capture point is being overrun.
And while the Americans are slowly regaining control here and there of parts of the map, this guy is just going to make them wish they had never been born. MG42 setting on up, good call. But these rear echelons are just outside that field of fire. Germans, in the meantime, grab themselves a strategic point over here, while the Americans try to push in and around. I think I'm going to try to push in and around those Pioneers, but no. Instead, the Ostwind gets makes its acquaintance with those riflemen and blows apart an entire squad. Dear God, there's not like anything left to really control him there. If he goes to the north, it's just about as good, I would think. And, yep. It does not matter. It does not matter. As long as he continues to make that bazooka continue to move, those guys are pretty screwed. And, in fact, with such an aggressive posture, the lieutenant just falls back. Ostwind does some domination over here to the eastern side as well. And Pigren's being called in for the Germans. Just look at the amount of health damage that thing does. Meantime, they're going to take the center position, the Germans. And while the rounds are going out and impacting on the P4, there's not anything that can really be done about this Ostwind right now. Indeed, he calls in a Ranger squad, and those Rangers get carved to pieces. The Germans are actually almost... never mind, I was going to say almost 1.5 points ahead in terms of commanders, but they're not really. Suffice to say, we will see some sort of endgame Tiger, I would think. And rifle grenade goes on out, doesn't do a whole lot. Excuse me, bundle grenade. And again, like I said, the lieutenant continues to get badgered and blown to pieces. Will ROL get to the point where he actually has the Pershing coming out on the map? I don't know, but he needs to make more of an effort to push up here to the northern side. Kind of wondering how the heck this went oh so wrong for our United States player here. M9, that's actually kind of good, but can we see another bundle grenade coming on out? This is going to hurt. No, he shorts it. He shorts it by quite a bit. Interesting. It's getting closer and closer. He might be able to limp on into that Pershing. 20 minutes in, 471 to 254. It's a 2-0 in favor of the Germans. Rifle grenade coming on out. That'd be good. Fire any one of these areas here. P4 coming on in, though, coming in and around. That'd do enough damage. There goes rear echelon squad.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being
And
wiped
3
out.
squads back away. That's a good call there. The Germans just have way too much in the way of armored firepower, and considering how fast the Americans lost their early flak track, yeah, I mean, not a whole lot to be said for the immediate prospects for the U.S. And geez, the Germans are actually up an entire point and a half. Actually, they're up, still a little bit over a point, I guess. These guys aren't going to do much to the German firepower here, even with the Thompson submachine guns.
All sectors. Ability now ready.
But now that Pershing can be called on in, I'm almost surprised that it's not. Bunches and bunches of bazookas out on the map. Surprised he's also not even going for that either. But no, he's just going to go get that 600 and try to get that Pershing on in. Now, if the Germans fall down because of just that Pershing, I'm going to be really pissed. I won't lie. I would love to see some good tank-on-tank engagements here. And indeed, the Germans can go and call in a couple of strokes. By the time they call in the one, they can probably call in the other one.
Krauts are sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being
But there
captured.
is that Pershing, and the Americans get closer and closer to being down 300 points. Not quite there yet, but still pretty darn bad for ROL. Ace
We've dropped to 200 points.
isn't quite acing him, but it's getting worse and worse all the time. Teller mines are out in the field, so if this Pershing gets aggressive, he's going to regret it. As it is, that Pack-40 doing an incredible amount of damage already to that Pershing, sitting him down to about 2/3 health. Very well done there. Grenadiers coming around the northern side of the map, engaging with fully vetted up riflemen, but with the assistance of these P-guns as they come in behind. Could we see a bundle grenade right here, perhaps? Yes, we do. He's having no coming. Ooh, whoa. Whoa, was that courtesy? That was courtesy of that Pershing. I thought maybe somehow that grenade didn't get through the tree line and blew up, but no. In fact, the grenade didn't even do a whole lot. Germany's waiting now, it looks like, for the, maybe the Panzer Ace, the Tiger Ace, rather. That'd be more than enough by itself. And while the riflemen are able to scratch the paint, they're not enough to actually get rid of this entire combined arms detachment here. Another Teller mine going on out. I don't think the Americans really know that's going down either. Now down to the south, Grenadiers can be engaging against these Rangers. The Rangers, when they get their Thompsons, can be quite fearsome. And I really mean fearsome. That's really the best way to put it, because up close and personal, it's going to carve them to shreds. And any second now. Never mind, actually, now that I think about it. Oh god. Yeah, never mind. It's a good amount of damage there, but it might even be these guys go down on retreat. Rear echelon's finally being called back in to repair this poor ailing Pershing. And the P4 wisely decides not to press the issue, so well done there. But 23 minutes in, it's still 2-1, and it's 471 to 168. While these poor P-Grens are getting aggressed on quite intensely, and indeed they really should be pulling back here. They don't even get the grenade off, but that's fine. It's better for them to survive than to get that one minute bomb away. Aha, and there it is. The Tiga coming on in, and this by itself, I imagine the Americans might end up losing their Pershing pretty quickly here. As the Germans come out with the Grenadiers, and I don't know what the heck happened just there, but suffice to say, the Germans are easily in the driver's seat from this, and this blob play from the Americans is just going right into the German plan here. Pershing comes on in. Where is that Teller mine? Teller mine is exploded already, it looks like. Hey, yeah, the Americans can't do anything. It would have been better for them to have gone into a more consistent play as opposed to trying to play entirely around just this Pershing. So now there is just a rabbit with this Ostwind, and the Tiga is doing some great work at it already. And the Pack-40 threw down a stun round to get him completely and totally frozen in time. Tiga is charging him as he should, and frankly, it's easier for him to lose a Tiga than for the Americans to lose a Pershing at this time. P4 coming in behind, and he's going to brew it up. Rear armor hit does happen, though, so in the meantime, it looks like he's going to go pick off his ambo. That's the ambo dead. And while the Americans do have an incredible amount of, firepower here, it does look like it's going to be a surrender coming on out from ROL. So congratulations to Ace. I did not expect to see that end quite that abruptly. But that will be that. With an ending score of 471 to 144. We'll see Ace pick up the game, so congratulations to him. Bad luck to ROL. And folks, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys all soon. And this has been Con Ulrich signing off. You all have a great day.